So the best weapon in cybersecurity or cyber defense isn't a big secret. It's you. You make all the difference in the world. You can buy the best cybersecurity software available, but it can be defeated by an unsavvy administration or any way that you could configure it. And so you need to be informed to make sure that your computer and your data is safe. So why should you care? Well, first of all, you could lose your life savings. That's a pretty good reason to care right there. You can lose your identity. You could lose your job if your company has compliance practices around your information security. You could also defend your country, which is very important these days because there's a lot of cyber terrorism going on. So first you need to know, what is a vulnerability? You probably know what a bug is. A bug is when software fails to do something that it's supposed to do. A vulnerability is when it does something that it's not supposed to do. And as a result, hackers can exploit those vulnerabilities with malware. So you're probably wondering what malware is now. Malware. Malware is a contraction of malicious software. And so malware comes in many forms, many examples, and you should really get familiar with all of these different kinds of malware because they all enter your system in different ways, and they all exploit vulnerabilities and steal your data and compromise your computer. So who's the enemy? Well, hacktivists, like Anonymous. That's a new term, hacktivist. Also, there's criminal syndicates, especially in places like Russia, where there's a large population of well-educated and unemployed or underemployed people who have nothing better to do with their time, and they can make a lot of money doing this. And now it's also nations like the US and Iran. So this is a shameless promotion for my employer. I'll say it up front. Please buy our software. You can also get free versions of this, but I'll tell you, it's like anything else. You get what you pay for. If you get the free version, it's not well maintained, it's not getting new signature updates, and so you're compromised from the word go. So these are some strong passwords down here. My daughter was born in '98. I graduated from Georgia Tech in '85. Number 12, Dwight Howard is a traitor. All of those are both memorable and they're cryptic. So that makes them strong passwords. So moving on, this next slide is a bit technical, so if it doesn't make sense to you, find a teenager and ask them to explain it to you. Encryption, I think most people understand. It's a very good concept. Use strong encryption. MAC filtering has nothing to do with Apple computers, so put that out of your mind. I can't explain it in 20 seconds, so come see me later if you want to understand it. Now, when you're choosing software, you have options. You can choose vulnerable or invulnerable software. And I'm here to advise you that the invulnerable software is going to be more secure. And I shouldn't say invulnerable, less vulnerable software is more secure. So look, you can Google for vulnerability and product names and make determinations and decisions. You want to enable automatic updates too, because this is how operating system vendors and also application vendors push out fixes to you for all of those vulnerabilities in their products. Now, we'll caution you, you probably don't want to do automatic install, because sometimes those updates that get pushed out to you can also break your operation, so you probably want to do a backup first. Removing unnecessary software is also a good trick. This is a free piece of software that is quite literally called PC Decrapifier. You know when you get a new system and it's got all kinds of craptastic software on it? This software is designed to remove all of that, but can also remove other things, so even if you got an old system, I highly recommend this. Disabling non-essential services is also a really good security maneuver, especially the first one, disable auto run. You put an infected disk into your system, it's got viruses or something in it. If you have auto run enabled, you've now installed a virus on your system. So you can make the choice to install that virus or not. Be wary of email attachments. This is one that everybody's pretty familiar with, and I also want to disabuse the theory, that's not me in the photo, by the way. So, you know, there's some clues, and everybody knows this one pretty well. If you get nude Anna Kournikova on your email, you probably don't want to open it. So some things to be wary of in untrusted links too. Unless you speak Russian, there's probably no reason to go to any link that's .ru on the end. Also, a lot of websites will say, oh, please install our plugin, or please install our whatever. My advice, don't do it. Or at least do a web search to make sure it's okay. So one of the best things that banks offer us now is these single-use credit cards. I really encourage everyone to do this. If you're worried about putting your credit card number in online and then having somebody else use it for some other purpose, these single-use cards are great. You use it one time and the number's deleted, no risk to you. Those banks that I listed there are the ones that support it. So most people wouldn't pick up a Twinkie and eat it, but a lot of people would pick up a thumb drive and plug it into their computer. And I'm here to tell you, that's not a good thing to do. They're both great ways of passing contagions from one system to another. Just like we used to have with diskettes, people got really wary about diskettes. You need to be wary about thumb drives now too. So Bluetooth earpieces are also a source of risk. I probably know the password for everybody's earpiece in this room. It's 0000. If you need to have a critical conversation and you're worried about security, take off the earpiece, put it down, put the phone up to your head. Embracing least privilege is kind of a complicated concept, but most of us log into our computers as administrators. But the reality is, for most of what we do, we don't need to log in as administrator. We could just log in as a regular user. So you can either create a separate account as a user to log in, or you can use this free download from Microsoft called Drop My Rights. The future is multi-factor authentication. So this is coming at us fast. I think most of you have probably seen like the handprint scanners, retina scanners, or the soft tokens. This is the future of security and authorization because it represents something you know, something you are, and something you have. 3 factors. So finally, I want to leave you with some resources. I based this entire presentation off of this paper right here, which is available at that website up there. If you can't write it down fast enough, which I don't believe anybody can, I can give it to you later if you want to delve deeper. If you've had enough of this and don't want to delve deeper, let me just say, please use strong passwords. That's the best advice I could give to any one of you.